Hey guys, today we are going to be doing a power yoga flow focusing mostly on our upper body and our core, but of course there's going to be some legs in there as it is yoga and we will be doing some standing postures. So we're going to start, just put your weights at the front of the mat, we won't need them right this second. We're going to start our class in a modified plank, but the knees are going to be slightly farther apart. So hands and the wrists are going to be right underneath the shoulders. We're going to go ahead and do a little push up here, and then we're going to push it all the way back into a child's pose. Now you'd keep your hands exactly where they are for that push-up because we're going to come all the way back and start that push-up again. Elbows close to the sides, push the seat back, stretch out the shoulders, come back down and push up. We're just kind of moving into the arms, into the shoulders. Stay on those knees for the starting exercise. The most important thing here is making sure that those elbows stay close to the side as we lower down and lift all the way back up. Nice. Rock through this a couple of times. Find that nice deep breath. Moving through this. For 2 more. Last one. Find that push up and hold here. Hold those elbows in nice and tight. And then let's go ahead, come into a tabletop position. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Let's take it just a couple of cat-cows here just to warm up our spine and our shoulders. Gaze forward on your inhale, exhale, round. Push the floor away, tuck the chin to the chest. One more, gaze forward. Exhale, round the spine and push the floor away. Nice. And let's go ahead. Excuse me. Come back into our tabletop position. We're going to take one weight and we're going to go ahead and take it under, let's put it on our right hand for now. We're going to extend our left leg nice and long and then reach that right arm forward. On the exhale, we're going to crunch it in. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, round the spine, hug it in. Working our core, using that right shoulder. Nice deep breaths. Lift up and squeeze. You got it. One more. Lift up, squeeze it in around the spine, and let's put that weight back at the front of our mat. We're going to keep that left leg nice and lifted, left toes down towards the ground, and same thing with that little push-up. We're going to keep the elbows close to the sides, bring that nose to the floor, and then lift it up. Lower and lift. Nice job. Lower down and rise up for 3. Last 2. And this time we're going to go 1, lift back up, keep that left leg lifted, tuck the right toes under. See if you can maybe spread the hands a little wider and lift that left leg nice and high for a 3-leg down dog. Nice, really bend into that right leg for a little bit, work into it. Nice deep breath in. On the exhale, we're going to come into a plank with that leg lifted, and we're going to kick it back into our 3-leg down dog. Lower down into that plank, 3-leg down dog. Nice job. Lower and lift. Working into the shoulders. Gonna be burning out those arms today. Burning out that core. Nice job. Just a few more here. Keep that belly pulled in nice and tight. Really lower that seat down towards the ground. 1 more hold here. And then let's go ahead, come back down into our tabletop position for our second side. This time let's extend that right leg out nice and long. Grab that weight in that left hand, reach it forward, round the spine, hug it in. Lengthen and crunch. Lift, elbow to knee, round the spine. You got it. Crunch it in. Reach it out. Option to do this without the weight if you need to. Nice strong core. 1 more. Lift it up and crunch it and hold it in. Nice. Keep that right leg lifted. Hands can come down. Let go of that weight. Place it at the front of your mat. Let's come back into those little push-ups here with that leg lifted. Nose to the floor and lift back up. Nose to the floor and lift. You got it. Elbows are close to the sides. Working those triceps and those biceps. Nice job. 1 more. And then we're going to lift the left toes, lift the left knee, and find that 3-leg down dog. And let's come back into our plank with 1 leg lifted and lift that right leg. Nice job. lower, and lift. Drop it down, rise back up. You got this. Use that core. Keep those hips low when you come down. Lift them nice and high as you go up. Working into those shoulders. Last two. Last one. Let's come right into a downward facing dog. Let's pedal out the feet, bend into one knee, and then the other. Generous bend here to keep that back nice and straight instead of rounding the spine and having straight legs. I'd rather you bend the knees and have a nice straight back. Awesome. Let's gaze in between the hands, bend the knees, and make your way to a forward fold at the front of the mat. Maybe you take a few steps, maybe it's a couple hops. And let's just hang out in this forward fold. Maybe grab for opposite elbows and gently rock from side to side. Relax the head, relax the jaw, unclench the teeth. Slow your breathing down here for just a moment. We're going to do kind of a different sun salutation. So we're going to grab our weights. Now to protect that low back, we're going to bend the knees and straighten through the spine. Pull the shoulder blades together and rise all the way up to standing. We're going to bring the palms facing our hips, thumbs facing each other. I'm going to kind of face forward so you can see me. Lift the elbows up nice and high. This is called an upright row. We're going to lower down and come into a deadlift. So my back is going to stay straight. I'm going to hinge forward, and then I'm going to rise back up all the way into that upright row. Lower down, hinge forward from the hips, and rise back up. Now notice I'm not rounding my spine here. My back stays nice and straight. Lower and lift. Lift all the way up. Nice. Come down, rise up. Follow your inhale and your exhale as you move through this. Inhale down, exhale, lift up. You got this. We're almost there. And then just like we came in, we're going to nice and gently come into that upright row. Hands are going to come down by the sides. Bend the knees a lot here so that the belly almost comes down onto the thighs, and gently place those weights down on the floor. Hands come down, step the feet back. Option to drop down onto those knees or stay on those toes, lower halfway, and let's come into our upward facing dog. Lift the thighs off the mat if you'd like, or just place them down on the floor. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Downward facing dog. Let's go ahead and run through that one more time, a little differently. Let's go ahead, bend the knees, gaze forward, step, or maybe this time you take a nice big hop to the front of the mat. We're gonna grab those weights, bend the knees, pull the shoulder blades together before you even lift all the way up. Beautiful. This time, we're gonna bring the palms facing towards each other. We're gonna lift out. And then we're going to lower down back into that deadlift. Lift out, and this time actually let's lift forward as well. And then we're going to come down and deadlift. So we're going to come out to this forward, and then bend down, lift back up. Again, my back is nice and straight. So maybe you don't even lower. Maybe your deadlift is right here. Slight bend in the knees. Take whatever you need here for your body. I'll do it one more time from the front angle. We're lifting out and then forward. Back stays straight, knees slightly bent. Lift up, out, forward, down, lift. A few more times, guys. You got this. Let's work those shoulders today. Work those biceps and those triceps and that whole back chain of our body. Nice job. Last time. Let's come down, lift back up. This time, let's bring those hands down by our sides. Bend the knees, start to bring those bellies toward the thighs. Plant the weights down, hands down on the ground. Step it back into your plank position. Lower down, lift up into your upward facing dog or cobra. Tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. Beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and lift that right leg nice and high. Take a nice deep breath in, and on the exhale, we're gonna crunch it in, round the spine. Hug that knee in. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, crunch in. Nice. Lift up and forward. One more time, lift up. And this time, let's step it all the way through for a lunge. Grab your weights. Same thing here. Shoulder blades together, and then rise up. Hands are gonna come out towards the side. Shins are Shoulders and biceps are parallel to the floor. We're going to do some shoulder presses. Lift up and lower. Lift and down. Rise up. Making sure 90-degree angle with those arms, and then lift all the way up towards the sky. Thumbs towards each other. Draw that rib cage in. Nice job. Last 3. Last 2. Last one. We're going to open it up for a warrior 2. I'm going to face this direction so that you guys can see me. So we're going to stay with that foot forward. We're just going to open it up into a warrior 2. So my front heel is in line with my back arch. My back foot is parallel to our mat. We're going to reach the arms out in front of us. From here, we're going to take our back arm, turns our thumbs up towards the sky. We're going to reach it forward and paint it back. Reach it forward and then drag that weight all the way across the body. Nice job. Feel that burn in the shoulders. You're doing great. Reach it forward and back. Maintain that bend in that front knee. Get a little bit of quad action going here. Nice job. Option to always drop those weights if you need to. Here we go. Last 3. Is your tummy nice and tight? Nice job. Last one. Perfect. Okay, we're going to turn our toes out, heels in, and sink it down for a goddess squat. And yes, let's take those arms, reach them out. We're going to do arm circles forward, thumbs up towards the sky, palms facing forward. Beautiful. Nice deep breath, sink down into those hips, and let's reverse direction. You got it. Keep those arms nice and lifted for 3, 2, and 1. Let's plant those weights down. Reach the arms up overhead. Sink it back down into that goddess squat. Take your hands on your knees. Let's stretch it out. Drop one shoulder down, followed by the other. Beautiful. Let's stand up nice and tall, interlace the hands behind the back, puff up the chest, and then exhale into a forward fold. Option to keep this mind if it feels okay on your shoulders. We're stretching them out, giving them a little bit of a breather here before we move into our second side. Let's go ahead, drop those hands down, grab your weights, and walk around to the opposite side. So now your opposite leg is forward and your other leg is back. So for me, now my left foot is forward. And shoulder blades get pulled together, rise up. Reach the arms up into that 90-degree angle, but this time we're going to bring pinkies together and then reach it back. Pinkies and back. Nice job. Really squeeze those elbows towards each other and back. Breathe. Beautiful. You got this. Feel those arms here working extra hard for 3. Last 2. And 1. Beautiful. Let's open it up for our warrior 2. Front heel, back arch, in line with each other. This foot's parallel. This one's facing the opposite direction. Bend into that front knee. Arms are going to go out. Let's paint it out. Right hand reaches this time, drags all the way back. Forward and back. Reach and drag it all the way back. Try to keep those arms lifted here. Drop those weights if you need to. My arms are shaking. Hopefully yours are too. Here we go. You guys got this. Strong core for 2 and 1. Nice job. Toes out, heels in. Let's sink it down for our our goddess squat. Hands are going to come behind the thighs. We're going to take one arm, reach it behind the head, tilt over and back. Work in the core. You got it. If you want to work that shoulder a little bit more, you can tilt the whole body over. Just make sure that that arm kind of stays put. Option to take that hand behind the head. We're working those obliques. Let's go ahead, switch it out, opposite side. Breathe. Sink those hips down nice and low. You got this. Find that strength. Beautiful. For 3. Last 2 and 1. Great job. Let's turn the feet parallel to the front and back of the mat. Find that nice wide leg forward fold. Reach the hands forward, bow the head down. Beautiful. Let's find a halfway lift with our body, so meaning our spine is nice and straight. Now, some of you can have your hands on the floor. Others will need to have your spine nice and lifted. We're going to take the hands and elbows by the side and reach up. Nice. Reach away from the floor and down. Doing one of those rows. Pull those elbows in. Nice job. And then this time we're going to pull the elbows out. Palms face your thighs. Reach it up and down. Still squeezing those shoulder blades together. Lift and lower. Nice job. Beautiful. Last 3, last 2, and 1. Go ahead, plant your hands down the ground. Let's take our weights and just leave them kind of by the center of our mat. Walk your hands around to whatever foot you'd like. Step it back. We're going to take a vinyasa flow. Exhale down. Inhale into your upward facing dog. Exhale back down into your downward facing dog. Let's drop down onto the knees and take a nice little child's pose. Reach the hands forward. Find some nice deep breaths. And let's go ahead and stretch out the shoulder a little bit. So we're going to come up into a tabletop position. Lift that left arm nice and high. Exhale, slide it underneath. Find a nice thread the needle here. Option to take your right hand and slide it up like a little kickstand. And just feel that stretch in that shoulder. Relax the head, relax the jaw. Take this nice break here. Beautiful. Let's switch it out. Right hand comes underneath the shoulder, tabletop position. This time we're going to reach that right arm up, slide it underneath, and then reach that left arm forward. Underneath. All right, let's come back into our tabletop position. We're going to take our hands underneath our shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Take the tops of the feet, push them down firmly into the ground. From here, we're going to lift the knees off of the mat, gaze down towards your knees, and lower down. Lift up and lower. If this is painful on the tops of your feet, you can tuck the toes under, but just make sure that you're bringing your head in between your biceps. So this isn't so much about lifting your hips as it is kind of stacking, almost trying to stack your hips on top of your shoulders. Bringing the head down and up. Nice job. Here we go. Last 3. Last 2. And 1. Beautiful. All right, so we're going to come on to our knees. We're going to take our right foot and bring it out towards the side, or maybe your left foot if you're mirroring me. We're going to take our hand in our weight in our hand that the leg is not out. So the opposite hand. For me, this is my left hand. Maybe it's your right. We're going to reach it up and over and then bring it back to the shoulder. Reach it up and back. We're working the core and we're working our lats. Reach it up and bring it back to that shoulder. Lift and lower. Lift it over. Feel that nice stretch as you reach over. Maybe gaze up at that left bicep or right, deciding, depending on which side you're facing. Lift and lower. Reach and down. Nice job. Really pull that shoulder open. Don't round forward. Keep the upper body lifted. Gaze up as you come in to that movement. 1 more. Reach it up and over. Hold here. And then come all the way back to center. Switch the weight. That opposite hand comes down now. And I'm going to reach the opposite hand up towards the sky. Option to stay here or lift that left or right leg off the ground. We're going to reach it forward and crunch it in. Elbow to knee. Crunch. Lift and lower. Up and out. You got this. Breathing here. Bring that elbow in. Crunch the side ab. We're using the arms, using our obliques. For 3. Last 2. And 1. Stay in that modified side plank. Now, if you really want to play with your balance, you're going to keep that top leg lifted. Same thing we did in that warrior 2. We're going to lower that arm down and then lift it all the way back up. So it's like you're trying to keep that weight all the way towards your body. Painting your body up and down. Lower and lift. Nice. Reach it up. Bring it all the way down. You're doing great. We're almost about to move into our core sequence. So hang in there. You got this. Beautiful. One more, lower down, lift up, and then let's go ahead and have a seat on our heels. We're gonna switch out our sides. So this time our opposite hand's coming down, come onto that knee. For starters, we're gonna stand coming up. Take your hand on that thigh. We're gonna reach it up and back to the shoulder. Lift up and over and back. Feel that shoulder open. You're really extending here. Reach as far as you can, pull it back. Reach and pull. Working those lats, that little space underneath our arms. A little bit of that space that goes above our bra strap in that back, tightening it up. Reach up and over. Nice job. For 3, 2, and 1. Let's go all the way into our modified plank from here. Option to lift that top leg if you'd like. Reach it up, crunch it in. Reach and crunch. Lift, squeeze it in. You got this. Use those arms. Don't let that upper body start to sink or fall down. Bring those shoulders away from the ears. Don't let anything sag. Keep everything nice and tight. Last 3. Last 2, last 1. Option to keep that leg lifted as we paint here, lowering all the way down to that hand, lifting all the way back up. Lower and lift. Change your gaze, watch that weight. Lift up and down. Nice job. Reach up and down. Lift and lower. Here we go, almost there. 2 and 1, beautiful. Okay, so for this next one, you can do it without blocks, but I think that blocks definitely help. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab mine. But you can also use books or anything that you can to just give you a little bit of height off of the floor. And what we're gonna do from here is we're gonna have the seat in between our blocks. Bring your blocks at whatever height feels comfortable for you. I wouldn't recommend the highest setting just because you might not be very stable. I'm going to pick the medium setting. So what we're going to do here is we're going to bring our feet down on the ground. We're going to lift our hips up and then slide our booty back. Lift the hips up into a reverse tabletop and then slide our booty back, toes up towards the sky. Nice. Lower and lift, using that core and using our shoulders here. Make sure those shoulders are away from the ears. I'm not tucking anything down. Lift and lower. Now I said you could do this without blocks. You're gonna lift up and lower. It's okay if that booty slides down onto the ground. Just a little bit more challenging to try to keep those hips from totally dragging on the floor. So whatever works for you, keep moving through. We're almost there. Last 3, last 2, and 1. Let's have a seat on our booty. Here's the real challenging L-sits. Probably my least favorite core workout ever, but it's a great one. Hands are gonna come on those blocks. We're gonna lift our hips off the floor. Now some of you, this might be as far as you take it. Some of you can lift your legs or maybe cross your feet and lift up and hold. Whew. Ready? Again. Lift those hips, maybe those feet, maybe cross the ankles and lower. One more time. Lift the hips. If this is as far as you can go, stay here. Maybe play around with lifting one foot, followed by the other, maybe 2, and lower. As I said, very challenging. Now for the next one, option to have blocks or those books or whatever you're using, or you can just use your hands on the floor. But again, a little height doesn't hurt. We're gonna lift the hips up. We're gonna do little tricep dips. Lower and lift, lower and lift. If you have blocks, take those blocks, lift up, lower and lift. Option to take it on a little higher setting if you'd like. Reach and bend. I'm gonna stay here on the floor, lift my hips up, bend the elbows and lift. Bend and lift. Now try to keep those shoulders away from the ears. Notice how my shoulders aren't up. Behind my ears, my chin stays tucked. I'm lowering and lifting for 3. Last 2. And 1. Lower the seat down. You can take your blocks and remove them out of the way. We're gonna go ahead and grab our weights, maybe some water. Let's head into our core sequence. This is it, and then we are done. Now, any of this can be done with or without your weights. Please don't feel pressure to keep those weights in the entire time. So let's go ahead and get started. Hug the knees into the chest. Hug the weights into the chest. We're going to make ourselves a tiny little ball, and then we're going to reach up, in and out. Reach up and back together. Nice lift and lower. Lift and down. Option to keep the head and shoulders off the ground. Gaze down at that navel. Reach and pull it in. That low back is in the mat. My whole spine is touching the floor. Nothing is lifted. If it's lifted, you're just going to bring your feet a little higher towards the ceiling. Ready? Lift out and in. Lift and lower. Beautiful. For 3. Last 2. And 1. Hug it in. Okay. So for this next one, option to keep the feet on the ground or lift them up as you rise up. We're going to come into a V-sit with a chest fly. So what we're going to do is we're going to come onto our back. We're going to rise up. Option to take those feet off the ground. Reach out, in, and down. Lift up, out, and down. Now option to keep those feet on the ground. Rise up, lift out, come down. Beautiful. Or lift those feet off of the floor and come into that boat pose, Navasana, as we call it in yoga. Out, in, down. Lift up. Come onto those sit bones as you rise up. Beautiful. You got this. For 3. Where's that core? Can you lift those feet off of the mat? Nice strong chest. Last 1. Lift up and out together and down. Beautiful. Let's make an X with our body. Option to keep your hands bent or let them relax. I like to keep them bent just to protect my shoulders. I'm going to lift the left leg up and right arm and down. Lift and lower. Lift up. Opposite foot, opposite hand. If you really want to challenge yourself, you can lift your head and shoulders off the mat as you lift up. Really try to use your core to bring the limbs together. Nice job. Breathe here. You got this. Keep it moving. Beautiful. Cross it over. Lift and lower. Lift up and down. Where is that back? Is it flat against the mat? For 3, 2, 1 more. Each side. Beautiful. Okay, guys, we are almost done. Let's rise up into our boat pose. Option to take both weights or drop them. Drop it down, center, down, center. Now option to take those feet on the floor, sit up nice and tall, and just come down one side at a time. Notice my chest stays lifted. I'm not rounding here. That's not doing anything. Chest lifted to the side, to the side. You got this. Maybe add a little punch. If you'd like, lift that chest up nice and high. Here we go for 3. Last 2. And 1 more each side. Let's drop those weights and come into a plank position. This is our final workout. If you've taken my class, you might have seen this before. It's a lever plank. We're going to find a nice sturdy plank position, and we're going to burn out. So from here, we're going to start to move the toes farther away. Slide them out. If you find some tile floor, and that just makes it harder, see how far you can hold yourself up while sliding those toes out until you cannot hold yourself any longer, and you lower all the way down onto your belly. Beautiful. And lower. Hands underneath the shoulders. Let's take a nice cobra stretch. Make sure to stretch out today. Make sure to hydrate. You guys did great. I'll see you next time.